お前はもう死んでいる。
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Trevor Plays here, back again with another One Piece video. Now, I know it's been a while since I've last uploaded a video and all that. Like, it's been like a month or so, but I've been swarmed with schoolwork and all this other stuff. I've been sick. I've been, lazy because like I need to get, some sleep because of how much work I've been doing. The reason why I got sick is because of how much work I've been doing. I pretty much like overworked myself, I guess, until, maybe, I don't know. It'll happen eventually. I will probably end up overworking myself even more. I know you're probably wondering in the background, why isn't there a Sanji wall scroll? Well, it fell down this morning. Well, not really this morning, like a couple hours ago. It fell down because the command strip was not sticking up there, but that the Zoro one and the Law one over here, and then I have two more right here. I put all of those up on the same day, and they've all stayed up, but that one keeps on falling down. So I don't know. I guess it's bad placement in that area or something. I don't know. So yes. Now back to what my discussion is yes, we're talking about One Piece. One Piece, right? One Piece, right? Yeah, okay. So we are currently in the, well, actually manga and anime of the Wano Kuni Arc. And technically, with the anime, it just got to Wano Kuni, so there's a lot more to come within the anime. And pretty much what I did in the last video, the first act video, that is going on right now in the anime. If you are an anime only watcher, then there you go. You can go watch the anime, get caught up where Wano is right now in the anime. But if you're a manga reader, then you're here for this stuff right here. So I realized that how I'm doing this is I'm going over everything that happens in the arc. Now, the fact that I'm actually doing that it's a toll, because one, it's a lot of information, and I know when Act 3 comes, there's going to be a lot more. So if you guys don't know, if you are new fans of One Piece and have caught up to the manga and all that, and you kind of don't, you know in a way like how this is structured. So how the Wano arc is structured is it's like a kabuki play. It has 5 acts within a kabuki play. The first act is pretty much like an introduction. We get introduced to a lot of new characters and a lot of more allies / antagonists / all that. That's our the first act is our introduction act. The second act is we get even more information, and there's a lot more. There's like action sprinkled out through all this stuff, and more information as well. And then in the third act, which is the next act coming up, possibly in the next chapter coming this weekend, or it will be another interlude chapter, which I will be having a video going out sometime this week, possibly Friday when the new chapter comes out, or well, the scans, I guess you could say. I end up reading those, but then I also end up reading the official release when it gets released or whatever as well. So I read both of them. So there's that. But yeah, so when the new chapter, which I will read, which will be possibly the spoiler scans or whatever, that will be on Friday. That will be when I upload my next video, which is the other 2 previous chapters, which is 956 and 957. Those are the interlude chapters that are like pretty much like giving us information and stuff about around the world and all this other stuff. which those are really good chapters because we get a lot of world building, because that's one of the things I like about One Piece is it's one of those manga and anime that you get a lot of world building, and it's good. It's really good. It's one of the best things that I love about One Piece. And obviously, I love all the characters. So it's kind of hard, really, talking about that. But now that I've gone on for like 5 or so minutes with just rambling on and not actually getting into the whole part of Act Two, which, like I said, is a lot. And so is that. So actually, I just got off topic. I was talking about the kabuki play thing, the axe, and all that. So yeah, Act 1, introduction. Act 2, a little bit of action and more information. Act 3, a whole lot of action. So that is when our war arc is going to happen, and it will probably end on a sad note, because what I've heard is that kabuki plays, the end of Act 3s or whatever, of these plays are they end in tragedy. So either we're gonna get a death, or the Straw Hats are going to be like almost dead or whatever. And then Act 4 will pick up. We'll have reinforcements, more allies, and all that. And then Act 5 is a quick wrap up. So it'll probably be like 1 or 2 chapters, maybe, because that's how the plays are. It's like literally, oh, you beat the villain, alright, let's go. Like it's pretty much like that. So if that is gonna happen, it will probably be 1, 2, possibly 3 chapters, that are like really short chapters, possibly, and all that. And then next we will be heading on to wherever, probably Elbath, I don't know. So now let me get on with Act 2. Alright, so what we are introduced to in Act 2 is we get a lot of characters that make their first appearance since the time skip. We get to see Marco for the first time after the time skip and what he's doing. We see Moria, we see Pizarro, and we see Katarina Devon, also Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach. And we are also introduced to Stainless, one of the Marines, which I forgot about him completely. I didn't even, when I was looking at this, I was like, who is this guy? I forgot. So when we are introduced to Marco, Nekomamushi is actually there. He is on Whitebeard's home island. That is where Marco is, and that's where Nekomamushi found him. And because the reason why Marco is possibly staying in Whitebeard's home island is because Edward Weevil has threatened to come to the island, so Marco refuses to go to Wano. But then he does say to Nekomamushi, please pass on this message to Luffy. So there's a lot of things that I will be talking about in the next video about this whole thing about Marco possibly coming to Wano, or Marco not coming to Wano. I will talk about that in the next video, because there's a lot more stuff that is going on within the next 2 chapters after Act 2, so I will get on with that. It has also been revealed that Bakken, who is supposedly Edward Weevil's mother, and Whitebeard used to be on the same ship 40 years ago, prior to the present time in One Piece and all that. Then we are then reintroduced to Teniguyama Hitetsu, and then he later reveals that he was the one that originally forged the Sandai Kotetsu and the Ame no Habakiri, which Hitetsu also reveals that the Wado Ichimonji and the Nidai could what am I saying? The Wano Ichimonji and Inma were forged by Shimotsuki Kozoboro. So there's more stuff going on with that. With that whole thing, I will get into that either in future videos or something like that. I know I'm behind on some of this stuff. Like I said, I am going over the whole act in and of itself. I'm not going chapter by chapter. I possibly will for Act 3 because there's no way I will be able to wait that long for Act 3 to finish to then give you this whole information dump like I'm doing right now. Because there's no way that, like, I will be reading this for like an hour. So what I'm possibly going to do is I will be doing manga review chapters for Act 3 because of Act 2 being like this. Possibly, I don't know, I might just keep it as a whole, like, we're going over the whole arcs because it's one of the most hypest arcs in all of manga and all that. So I will possibly do another whole Act 3 video. If not, then it will be manga chapter reviews. If not, then it will be manga chapter reviews over the next arc. So, I'm done with that. Okay. And then also, Hitetsu also reveals that Tama met Ace 4 years ago, which actually, that was back in, you know, now that I'm reading this is all stuff that happened in Act 1. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm still just gonna read it because there's a lot of stuff here. I can't, okay. Yes, so Hitetsu says that Tama met Ace 4 years ago. That has been, done. It's really good. Then we have that Ace promised to come back and let Tama join his crew. Sadly, Ace is dead, and Luffy just flat out said that. Next, we have that the Nidai Kitetsu is shown to be in possession of Hitetsu, but then Luffy takes it. And then it is later returned to Hitetsu, which that I will get into later. The Beast Pirates have conquered over Wano completely, which has now turned it into a wasteland. The Kozuki family once ruled over Wano, obviously over 20 years ago. Jack is revealed to be the ruler of the Curie region, and then he was also saved from his shipwreck after his failed attack on Zou. And then we get the whole prophecy with Lady Toki. And then we see the 9 rings. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's stuff from, like, okay. So now let me get into some of the main things that happened in Act 2 is we're revealed that Kid, Eustace Captain Kid, also has Conqueror's Haki, and the late and also Kozuki Oden also possessed Conqueror's Haki as well. Then the worlds find out that Gecko Moria is still alive. Corona decides to leave the island to rejoin. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so Perona leaves the island that she was at with Mihawk to go join Moria because she was with Moria and all that with Thriller Bark and all that. And then the Blackbeard pirates apparently killed Absalom, and stole his devil fruit because now Shiryu of the Rain has it. So, yay. And then Blackbeard offers Moria to join him. I mean, what else can you say? He asked you to join. So then we are revealed to the revolutionaries. We find out that the revolutionaries clashed with Fujitora and Ryokogyu, or Green Bull, on the 4th day of Reverie. Which we still don't know what happened. Although in the latest couple of chapters we might know what happens. I will talk about that obviously in that video too. But yeah, so then we find out that Caribou is a prisoner of Udon. I don't really care for Caribou that much. I mean he is a helpful character. I'll give him that. He's a helpful character, but I don't like him. I've never liked him since I saw him. And then especially with the whole thing with Shirahoshi and stuff in Fishman Island, I don't like Caribou, and I probably still won't, even if he is somewhat of a good guy. Then we get introduced to King and Queen of the Beast Pirates, and then we also get introduced to the All Stars. Actually, no, they are the All Stars. What am I talking about? Then we get to find out that King is an unknown race that is supposed to be extinct or thought to be extinct. Apparently, King is a new type of race. We have no idea what he is. All we know is that he has black wings. And yeah, that's pretty much it for King. Then we find out that Kid had lost his left arm in a battle with Shanks. So that's something. That's something, you know. Then we are shown with Lord Orochi with CP0, who want to trade with him because they're doing trade in Wano or whatever. But due to the fall of Doflamingo by Luffy, yeah, stuff's not doing too well for that. But in exchange, Orochi demands that CP0 brings Vegapunk to Wano. Now that was a big thing that happened when that chapter came out, because one, CP0's in Wano. We have no idea why, other than they were negotiating with Orochi. And another thing is Orochi demanded that Vegapunk comes to Wano. Obviously, that is probably not going to happen because, you know, he's all the way in Rizwa. So there's that. Next, my favorite part, although Wall Scroll's not there, Sanji. We find out Sanji's raid suit, Stealth Black, is introduced. We finally get to see. Actually, wait a minute. Why do I feel like this stuff is still from? Okay, well, some of this is still from like Act 1. Now that I'm looking at this. So then, yes, Sanji's Stealth Black raid suit has invisibility, so, you know, we had some funny scenes with Sanji doing that, and then, you know, in Act 1, he fought with Page 1, which was one of my favorite parts, but then it got off screen, so I'm hoping that whatever happens, Sanji and Page 1 have a round 2. I'm hoping, because that would be cool. And I really want Sanji to get more single fights like he used to. He had some moments in Whole Cake Island, but they didn't really, it wasn't really produced like I thought it was. I thought, you know, Sanji could take on like some characters and all that, even with his family, but that didn't happen, so I was kind of pissed about that, but, you know, whatever. We can hope, all the Sanji fans out there, we can hope that Sanji gets his own good battle by himself again. We also find out that the road poneglyph is on Onigashima, which is where Kaido's at. Yay. So that's gonna have to come into play eventually. Then we also find out that Wano has their own Din Mushi, or the talking snails, and all that, called the Tanishi, which are like pins. They're kind of like pins, and they have the little snail on them. So there's that. Now we get into more of the new stuff that happens. which I feel like this is a little bit, not there is some things that are in here that feel like it's still part 1 but also part 2, but this whole like part that I'm reading now, that actually seems like it was in Act 2, because Act 2 is really long. It's 30 chapters. Because it starts at 925 and goes to 955. So there's 30 chapters of a lot of information being jam-packed into them. So there's a lot of things that I'm reading that I feel like was in Act 1, but are apparently not. So there's that. More information about hockey is revealed. Devil Fruit users, obviously, they can't use hockey while being in contact with sea stone or sea prism stone or whatever it's called. They can't touch it. They can touch it, but they can't use their powers or anything. So that's a downside to it. But what more can you do? We also find out that there is an advanced application to the armament hockey. It allows the user to emit armament in a short distance and attack its opponent from within. So pretty much it's what Rayleigh used back on... God, what was that island? I forgot. It was the island that he was training Luffy on. And he showed Luffy what that was. But then, Luffy ended up training and getting Gear 4 and all that. So, and getting all those different transformations within Gear 4. So there's that. But now we get introduced to that here. And that is where Luffy has awakened the new advanced version of this hockey. It is revealed that Luffy has gained a higher version of advanced hockey, where the user's hockey can reach inside the opponent and destroy him from within inside. Cool. All right. So obviously, at this point in time, Luffy is still currently learning how to use this advanced armament hockey technique, because according to Old Man Hyo, it is something that is called Riro in Wano. It's completely like they don't have these terms because they're secluded from the outside world, so they don't know what hockey is, but they obviously have it, and all this other stuff. So there's that. But also, hockey is the concept used by foreigners outside, yes, but hockey is referred to simply as Ryo, to the will of samurai. And Wano was also known as the country of gold because it was targeted by pirates and nobles who wanted to bring it under their control, which this ended when Ryuma slayed a dragon. So there's that, and then we have Yukimaru states that Shusui turned into a black blade after Ryuma's many battles. So pretty much what it is we get this whole thing about how when you use armament hockey and you use it on your swords, after so many battles or so, with you pouring in so much armament, it becomes a black blade. So that's what happened with Ryuma's sword, Shusui. So with that going on, that's why Shusui is a very powerful sword. And then we also get more information about the Smile Devil Fruits or whatever. There's only a 10% success rate, so it's a very rare ability that you can, use a Smile Devil Fruit. But those who do not obtain the ability will lose their expressions, and they will only smile. So there's no sadness, there's no anger, there's nothing. They're just smiling and happy. And then just like devil fruits, the Smile users cannot swim in water. Obviously, it's kind of a thing. Um, and then after bitten the fruit, there's still some side effects. Just case in point. This is when we see Killer's fate after the encounter with Kaido. So what happened is back, I guess all the way back when Kid and Apu and Hawkins and all of them were trying to create an alliance, and Kaido came down. Apparently, Apu was a part of Kaido's crew this whole time, so kind of set him up in a way. And then Hawkins joined Kaido's crew, and then Kid and Killer fought against Kaido. Kid got knocked out, and I guess Killer got taken away, and then he got fed a Smile Devil Fruit, and then we have yeah, actually, I just talked about all that. Just talked about all this stuff right here at the bottom. We find out that Kid states that his alliance with Hawkins and Apu was overdue to their betrayal, and due to that, along with the tragic fate that befell Killer, he will never trust anyone outside his crew again. So, with that, Kid is off doing stuff by himself. So, hopefully, Kid will come back in maybe towards the end of Act 3, possibly Act 4 of Wano, because Kid is one of those characters that he's kind of, he's to himself, but also because of what happened with his crew and his, first mate Killer. The fact that this stuff happened to Killer, a person that he trusted, and, all this other stuff, something bad happened to him. So Kid will never trust anybody else ever again. So I'm sure eventually he will, but the fact that it is right now, not so much. So he's doing stuff by himself. And then that's when it's revealed that Apu had been working for Kaido this whole time. And then Hawkins also became part of the Beast Pirates because of his self-preservation, because he does tarot cards, so he does fortunes and all this other stuff, so he's trying to, survive, and all that. And then, now, finally, we get to the big part of Act 2, which is the last part. Here we go. It is revealed that Odin's sword, Inma, is the only weapon that has ever injured Kaido. That's a big deal. It's a very, very big deal. Now, it is also later given to Zoro, because what happens is that we are told that Momonosuke is the holder and wielder of Ame no Harabakiri, and Hiyori is the holder of Inma, because before Odin died or whatever, he passed down his two swords to his kids. So they each had it, but then Hitetsu is the one who has them. So then we were told by Lady Hiyori that Zoro could use her sword and all that. So then that is why Inma is in the possession of Zoro. Now, with that, Hiyori offered that Zoro would return Shusui because she was giving him a sword. He agreed, obviously, because he was getting a sword. And then we find out that the sword is able to draw out the user's armament haki, which has tremendous cutting power, because what happens is Hitetsu's all like, oh yeah, Zoro, go cut that tree down. And he slices the whole cliff off because, one, Inma sucked out his armament haki, and then his arm shriveled up, and then he's Zoro, so he just went, no, you give that back, and then his arm buffed back up again, and he got his armament haki back again. So now, while Luffy is still training to get the advanced armament haki level up or whatever, Zoro is off training with Inma, trying to get used to him, and hopefully, do a decent amount of damage, obviously because he can, but also because he needs to control Inma to actually use him, because if not, he'll just end up cutting everybody up. So there's that. And then the final part of Act 2 is that Kaido and Big Mom have formed an alliance. So, yep. Now, as you can see, this has been over 30 minutes, which I kind of figured it would be because of how long this is, and oh my god, Act 3 is going to be a whole lot worse. I might actually bring one of my friends on for Act 3, so that way I'm not just talking the whole time, and we can both go back and forth about the stuff that's going on within Wano, pretty much like how I just did. I have this whole list right here about all the main impact story points or whatever, so there's that. So that way, like, we can just go back and forth about reading these off and all that, so that way we can have the whole information given to us, and that way it would be a lot faster as well because I'm not just like while I'm talking, he could be reading like the next line or whatever and seeing like all that stuff. So that's what I will possibly do for Act 3 and possibly 4 as well. I will probably do that because they're going to be pretty long arcs. They're going to be pretty suspenseful arcs. They're going to be pretty sad and happy moments in those arcs, I'm pretty sure. So if you guys did enjoy this little recap of the Act 2 of Wano in One Piece, then please hit that thumbs up button, leave some comments down below. What are your guys' thoughts on some of the things that happened in Act 2? And what are some of your predictions? Well, actually, I'll wait and I'll save that question for the next video. So, like I said, if you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, comment down below some stuff. Also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I know that my upload schedule has pretty much gone away. It's non-existent now. But I do guarantee that every once in a while there will be a video up. So it might be, another, like, we will be in 2020 eventually. So I'm sure that Act 3 video will be in 2020. So yeah, it'll possibly be at the beginning of 2020. So possibly January, maybe February, yeah, possibly March. That will be when the Act 3 video goes up. So like I said, if you subscribe, you can stick around for that, and possibly in the meantime, I will hopefully have some videos. I don't know if I can find the time to do so like I have now, because I don't have that much work to do. So if I find time when I don't have that much work, I'll possibly bring out a video. About what? Don't know at this point in time, but there's that. So if you guys have enjoyed, then that's great. You guys have a nice day. So, see you guys next